Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout, and let's talk about Splash Mountain closing. Even saying it out loud just bugs the heck out of me. It really does. I mean, I never thought I would have such an emotional attachment to a ride, but I'll explain why, and I'll explain what the heck happened at Disney and why they're closing it down. Before I jump into that, if you're going over, hit the subscribe button. Click the notification bell, comment, like this video. I want to hear what your opinion is on Disney making this just absurdly erratic decision, and if this is a sign that really Disney's in like a tailspin downward that they're just never going to come out of. Let me know what your opinion is on them closing this ride and what you think is going to happen. Okay, so you've heard by now, obviously, Disney closed the Splash Mountain ride. Now, as a kid, so this ride opened 30 years ago, okay? I first rode this ride, I think I was like 10 years old. I rode it with my family. I mean, I was just blown away by how amazing it was. The animatronics, the story, it's a simple story. So even if you're a kid, you can follow along kind of what's happening. And right after you see the story, then you go down a little roller coaster ride into another level. And then you see more of this story. And basically the story was about Brer Rabbit. And he's kind of being like, trying to be captured by the fox and his like henchman, toady buddy, a big country bear, right? Pretty simple, pretty harmless. You go through this whole story, and then at the very end, you get to the very top, and you go down this, I think it's a 50-foot roller coaster drop through a tunnel into the water, into the Briar Patch, and you come out, and you hear amazing songs. Visually, I think it was the best ride I've ever been on. And I think that even includes, you know, even though it was made 30 years ago, I would still hold it up to the Harry Potter rides over at Universal. Because those use animatronics, of course, but they also use like a lot of like digital technology, projections. And what I liked about Splash Mountain was it was all just animatronics and projecting light. And it wasn't really anything like high tech. It was a lot of practical effects. And it's just something you don't see very often, you know? A lot of care and effort was put into making this. So I wrote it, you know, when I was a kid with my family. Came back again when I was about 12 years old. Then years later, you know, you go on a date, you take your date to the Splash Mountain ride. And in my opinion, that was kind of like the test, right? If she is cool enough to go on the Splash Mountain ride with you and she's game on, then that's a pretty darn good sign. That was my test, right? Years passed. I hear a rumor that this ride is making some people upset. And I'm like, is it the long line? You know, what is it? Like, how could you be upset about a ride like this? Lo and behold, the ride is actually based on a movie. And I'm not going to really get into the movie because I don't want to get like, you know, a strike or censored or anything like that by YouTube for talking about it. But basically, it's based on an old movie. And unfortunately, it's almost impossible to watch the movie and judge for yourself whether or not it's actually offensive or not. You know, all you hear is like, I Google it, I look it up, and I just see like people's opinions about the movie, and I don't even know if they've even watched it. I think it's just kind of a lot of like second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand opinions. So I would like to watch it and judge that for myself. But unfortunately, Disney has it locked in a vault, and it's very hard to find a watchable copy online. So people complained, people rallied together online, and this is what happened. So I'm on WDWNT news. So World of Disney news today, and here's a picture of the 50-foot drop, which, I mean, it was so much fun going down this thing, because you're going up, you're like in this log, you can't see the bottom, and all of a sudden, as soon as you're tipping down, you can feel the pull of gravity on you going down. In my opinion, there wasn't anything like it. No other ride had that. It says, after more than 30 years, guests took their final plunge into the Briar Patch on Splash Mountain at the Magic Kingdom on January 22nd, 2023. With the conversion of the, let me pause that right there, I don't want to see that. With the conversion of the Flume ride into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So that's what they're going to replace this thing with, is it's going to be a themed ride from The Princess and the Frog, which, you know, there's a whole other reason why they're replacing it with that, but that's what they're going to be doing, which, you know, both stories take place in the South. So I don't know. I don't know what this is going to end up looking like. And set to open next year. We thought it prudent to take one voyage on the adventure of Burr Rabbit as he escapes Burr Fox and Burr Bear on his way to the Laugh-In Place and back, as well as celebrate the ride with fellow fans. And you can go online, you can play like a ride-through. I think I actually have a ride-through recorded somewhere. I got to dig it out. That years ago I took, but I'm gonna have to find it somewhere. But there were just record numbers of people. There was a line all the way outside of the ride, all the way through Frontierland, through the entrance of Frontierland. There were so many people, you know, buying anything that had the logo on it. I mean, there were even people, I might do a video on this, there were even people that took samples of the water, I kid you not, from Splash Mountain, in like a little vial. They scooped up just a little bit of the water, and now they're trying to sell it. They're trying to auction it off on eBay. It's crazy. It's nuts. But I don't know. If any of it sells, I'm definitely going to do a video talking about that, because that is just insane. But that's what's going on right now. So Disney closed down the most popular ride and attraction and just visual staple of the Magic Kingdom over people online whining. And they're going to replace it. And no, I mean, it's just nuts. It's insane. Tell me, what do you think about this? Do you think that this is saying anything about Disney and how they're going to be running their company? Do you think that this is a sign of what was good about Disney? What was, you know, family friendly? What was fun about the park? The fact that Splash Mountain is going away, the fun is going away, whatever was left, whatever magic was left in the park is now finally gone. Let me know, comment below, and as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later.